What's good, World Squad? Back at you guys with another video. On this one, I want to discuss how you can start or build your Amazon Freedom business with limited capital. If this is your first time watching this channel, my name is Travis Cooper. I'm the creator of Amazon Made Easy, the program that gives you the blueprint to buying back more of your time so you can spend it doing the things that you want to do so that you won't have to exchange your most valuable resource for money. I don't want to take up too much of your time because, again, I know how valuable your time is and you decided to watch this video. So, hey, let's jump straight into it. All right. So let's just start with a budget of $200, right? If you have $200, Trav, what would you do? So this is exactly how I built my business back in 2010. I was very limited in capital, and I'm not going to string out or bore you guys with the story, but I started this business with less than $150. And I want to show you how you can do the same 13 years later. So first things first. It's a couple of things that we need whenever we're selling on Amazon. And most of these things you're going to already have. You're going to need a phone, you're going to need a laptop, and you're going to need internet connection, right? If you have those things, we can partner and get some of the other things with other people, but those are three key components we're going to need, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, to get started with this business. Once you have those supplies, the next thing you need, of course, is an Amazon sellers account, right? To get that Amazon sellers account, you go down to the link in the description. I'll leave that down below for convenience for you guys. Sign up. The things you will need for that Amazon sellers account. You're going to need a credit card. You will need an address, a business address. You will need an email, a phone number, and a bank account so that when your sales start rolling in, it's going to be deposited directly to your bank account. Once you sign up, give it a couple of days to a week. Once you put in all that stuff, they're probably going to send you a code in the mail to your address just to verify you are who you say you are, to make sure you're not a fraud, you're not scamming, because in 2023, it's a lot of that going on. Once they verify you, boom, you up and running. Now, in the process of signing up for that account, you're going to have to choose between an individual and a professional sellers plan. The individual account is the pay-as-you-go account. So it's completely free. It's no monthly rate. They charge you a 99-cent fee on every transaction. So if you never do a transaction on the platform, they're not going to charge you any money. But it is limited because they don't allow you to integrate any software or apps when you have that individual plan. So it's not the most efficient, but if you're limited on capital, you may have to get it out of the mud, as we say in the South. You may have to get it out of the mud and do a little bit more work and not run as efficiently to save a couple dollars until your cash flow is increased so that we can put this thing on autopilot. So it is pros and cons to each one. The pro, again, on the individual account is that it is free. The con, man, it's not as efficient. It's going to take you a little bit more time, but we won't be charged with that flat rate monthly fee. The pro account, on the other hand, charges you $39.99 per month. You get all the bells and whistles, access to reports. You can do the whole nine. You can integrate software, apps, the whole nine, right? It's going to make your business run like a well-oiled machine, and it's a no-brainer. So if you're on that individual account and you start selling over 40 items a month, that's going to put you at $40 you're paying in fees. It makes sense just to switch over to the professional sellers account so that you can save money. Because if you start selling, 10,000 items per month, right? You don't want to have $10,000 in fees because you're on that individual account, because remember, they charge you each transaction 99 cents. On the other hand, if you are on that pro account, they don't care if you sell 10,000 items or 1,000,000 items. It's that flat rate fee of $39.99. So it only makes sense to, once you scale up, to switch over to the pro account so that we can make our business run, a lot more efficiently. So the next thing we're going to need is inventory. Now that we got our account set up, we're on a selling plan, whether that's individual or pro account. We have to get some inventory and some items coming in. The most cost-effective category, in my opinion, and how I got started in 2010, was in the book category, right? And it's still to this day, my students, I advise them to start with books. Now, you don't have to. I'm very biased towards the books category because I was able to start with less than $150 and scale it to multiple six figures a year, and on track to have my first 7-figure year this year through the grace of God. But again, you don't have to start with that category, right? But for the context of this video, and we're limited in cash, go with the book category. Why? Because you can potentially get inventory for free, right? We have new students do it all the time. Do a free book pickup, right? A free book pickup service on your social media. You're going to advertise, right? What's the value? Because money is just a byproduct of value. What's the value? Why, Travis? Would somebody give me some free books? The reason why they will give you free books is because you're a service, right? If they have a personal library and they've done reading the books, it's just taking up space, and they're like, hey man, I don't want to throw them in the trash. I want them to find a new home. You can offer your services as a free book pickup service or business, right? You're going to remove all the books out of their house, right? Now, of course, you're going to get a lot of books that may not be worth anything on Amazon, but that's okay. That's part of doing the business. That's part of how we're getting it for free, because we're adding that value by removing all of the books out of their house. But in the meantime, you also can find some winners, right? So how do we know we have winners? With that phone you're using, I want you to download the Amazon Sellers app, right? And with that Amazon Sellers app, you're going to use the camera feature on your phone, right? And you're going to scan the barcodes. You're going to see a barcode on the back of each book. Once you scan that barcode, it's going to pull up that listing on Amazon.com. You're going to click on it and you're going to look at the sales rank, right? Scroll down and look at the sales rank. Just starting out, I would keep anything that's under 2 million, right? I don't want to get too deep because this video is beginner friendly, but a sales rank is like a snapshot in time of what the particular product on Amazon is doing. So the lower the number, the better, right? So we're at 2 million, and let's just say it's 80 million books listed in the book category on Amazon. You're way in the top 1% of that category. That's amazing. But the lower the number, the better. So if it was the number 1 ranked book or sales ranked book on that category, that is going to be the fastest moving book in that category that's selling hundreds to thousands of copies per day. Okay. So when sales rank, think about it like this. The lower the number, the better. 1 is the best. And we had 80 million in the book category. That would be the worst. So every hour, Amazon constantly updates this sales rank so that you can kind of know where your book stacks up or compares to other items in that category. So it's definitely a helpful parameter to help you make decisions whenever you're a beginner. So look at that number. Let's say 2 million or less, right? And as far as pricing, whenever you're looking at the price, make sure your item is at least $12 or more. Now, the fulfillment process is something else we have to talk about. You have between FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon, or FBM, which is fulfillment by merchant. Now, it's pros and cons to each. Since this video was about starting a business with limited capital, I would suggest you probably start off with merchant fulfill. That's going to have lesser fees and allow you to put more money inside Pocket National Bank. Now, if you're doing merchant fulfill, which means that whenever an order comes in, you package it, you pick it off the shelf, you package it, and you send it directly to the customer. I want you to purchase a label directly off of your Seller Central or your Amazon account. Don't go to the post office. Don't go to UPS. It's going to allow you to get savings, and it's going to allow you to get Amazon's baked in insurance that they give you whenever you buy shipping through the platform, right? So whenever you're shipping out and you're doing merchant fulfill, if the order is not expedited, be sure to use media mail. That's going to be the cheapest way to ship these specific books out. Now, FBA, on the other hand, is when Amazon is going to handle the picking, the packing, the shipping, but you have to ship it into their facilities. Now with FBA, I would say you're probably going to get sales a lot faster because your buy box eligibility is going to be almost instant, right? So you're going to get faster sales, but you're going to make less money off of each sale, right? But about $12 is the range where you should be. $12 with FBA at the time of this video. You made that around $3 on the $12 book whenever you're doing FBA. So that's about a 25% profit margin. But whenever you're doing it on Merchant Fulfilled, you're probably making, in between $4 to $5, right? So it does increase. You're going to make more money with Merchant Fulfilled, but it requires you trading more of your time for the money, right? So you make the best decision for your specific situation at this time. I know for me back in 2010, I had to trade my time for money till I can get the cash. Then I reinvested it, start back buying more of my time. I was okay with taking a lesser profit margin. Let me say something else about FBA. Now, this example was just based off if you found a $12 book. The higher price items that you get, the more your profit margins are going to increase, right? So that's on a $12 product. Let's just say if you sit in for FBA, a $30 product, you could be net, depending on the size, you can be netting anywhere from $15 to $20, right? So the profit margin will be 50% or greater, right? So it's just depending on your price point. That's why we always need to source. Once you start to build this business, more products with more meat on the bone. You don't want to go with the smaller or razor thin profit margins because eventually it's just a lot of spinning your wheels. You want to be able to get better, create relationships with suppliers so you won't be down at the bottom of the barrel scraping for these smaller profits, just doing a lot of work and not seeing anything, not seeing much results on the back end. So once you start putting out these free book pickup service ads on your social media, whether you have Facebook, Instagram, tell everybody you know. I like to call it creating your own luck. Tell everybody that you know you got an online book business at the moment and watch how, all kind of people are going to be hitting you up, asking, hey, okay, can you come pick these up? I'm telling you, so be ready. Whenever you put that ad out there, be ready. I just talked to a student the other day. She was just saying she ran the strategy and she had to turn people down because it came in at such an alarming rate. So be ready to get a lot of inventory, okay? So once you have that inventory coming in, follow the step-by-step guideline inside Amazon Seller Central. You're going to list them books for sale. Again, either fulfillment by merchant, they'll be for sale immediately, or if you do the FBA process where you're shipping them out, give them about 1 to 2 weeks and then they'll be live available for purchase, okay? All right. Once you guys do that, it's a rinse and repeat. Now, in this video, I just showed you guys how to do it with limited capital. Everything I discussed in this video, you can definitely do multiple times with less than $200, really less than $100 because I've done it. And then whenever you start to make money, you start to see your sales coming in. If I was you, I would reinvest those profits back into the business so that you can build it up one day where your business is automated and then you can go and just check on it and make sure everything is running smoothly, a couple times out the week, but you don't really have to physically be there to make your business run. Hopefully you guys received a lot of value from this video. Until next time, love.